Welcome back to Common Sense Rhode Island. I'm Representative Patricia Morgan, and today we've been talking with Representative Sherry Roberts, who is representing Central Coventry and West Greenwich very well. Just to put a bow on our last segment, kind of tie that up, Electric Boat, and I just think this is terrific, has been working, you've been working with them to get this program into Coventry, extended on to West Greenwich, and hopefully to all Rhode Island children, because it has tremendous promise for them to not have to go to college, but to get good skills that will give them good jobs in the future, and help Electric Boat in our defense industry at the same time. So you said it might start in the fall in Coventry?
Yes, expected to start in the fall, yes. Great.
Did you know that there were 2 Republican secretaries of the Navy who actually got that business, the welding skin business, into Quonset?
No, I was not aware of that.
Yes, we had 2 Republican secretaries of the Navy. One everybody knows, that's John Chafee, and the other is William Middendorf, who was a secretary of the Navy and was very instrumental in making sure that we got that submarine work in Quonset. So good news, Republicans have done wonderful things and will continue to do wonderful things for Rhode Island. There's been an issue on the table now, well, only for about two weeks, and that's the Olneyville Tunnel. Does anybody else know what the Olneyville Tunnel is? It's the 610 connector, right? I know you were fighting with me against the toll law. Do you remember there being any conversation about a tunnel in Olneyville when all that was being rammed through?
Absolutely not.
No.
Not how are they going to afford this anyway?
Not a lot of transparency. I was going to ask questions about the 610 project, but even then there was absolutely no discussion about burying the highway and capping it and putting green space and roads up above. I mean, they were seriously talking about highways underneath and streets and parks up above. This is Boston's big dig. Did you hear anything when you were in the State House? Anybody talking about such an elaborate plan?
Not at all. Nothing. Zero. Zilch.
Zilch.
So
Zilch.
Now it seems like they're going to get this toll money, and now all of a sudden now they have got another expense to pay for. I mean, what's...
Well, to me it's just a bait and switch, because during that entire debate, if you want to call it that, but the ramming that toll through, they talked about bridges. We have the most deficient bridges in Rhode Island. We need tolls to fix the deficient bridges, Rhode Island. And they really soft-pedaled the 610. I knew it was there. I was trying to drag information out of DOT on it, but no talk, none at all about a tunnel. And, you know, I understand that the people out there, and I really appreciate the fact that they called and they sent the emails and they raised their voices against the tolls. Now they're faced with this. It's up to $1 billion that they want to spend on this. Quite frankly, I think the big dig in Boston started small and grew to 7 times the original estimate. Were you able to go to any of the meetings, or were you at the State House this last week?
I was at the State House.
Yeah. Not a lot of reps went. I made the special, you know, I made myself get there. It wasn't easy to do because we have on the same days, funny thing, on the same days that they had these meetings, we had to be in committees.
Because it's convenient, that's why.
Not to get the word out to the people who are supposed to be making the decisions, and they have had no information session for us in the State House so that all of us could get the information. Like I said, there's a real aversion to transparency and getting data and information out to people in our state from this administration. But one of the things that's really scary to me is They were talking about it being 400 million before the law was passed. Now it's, in the meeting I went to, they were talking about 550 million. In the paper today, it was 995 million. And this all happened in about 2 weeks' time. So the longer this thing stays on the table, it's going to grow. And something that's really disturbing is this tunnel idea, or the capped highway. It's 1 mile now for $1 billion. 1 mile. And the director was saying that, well, that's preliminary. If they like it, they can extend it farther into Providence, the whole tunnel idea, out into Johnston, out into Cranston. At $1 billion a mile, this could be crushing to Rhode Island. Just crushing. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, a $45 million tax increase as it is could just blossom. What do you think we should be doing as representatives to help people fight against the tunnel? Any ideas?
Well, we just need to continue to educate them, of course, about what's going on, and give them the tools to know what to do. You know, sometimes they just don't know what to do. They're probably feeling helpless at this point because our government just overrides the people's will.
You know, I'm exactly with you on that one too. We've fought so hard. People did rise up. They made the phone calls, they sent the emails, and they were slapped down. And they're asking me, what do we do? What do we do?
Well, some of this stuff I really believe can be reversed in the next election, as I was saying before. They have an opportunity. It's just that I think so many people are just not educated about what's going on, but yet they're voting, but they don't really know what's going on. There are many people who do, but not enough is what I'm saying. And they really need to pay attention to what their senator and their rep is voting on, what's going on, and take the opportunity this fall to get out there and really make some changes, vote in some new people who have obviously or clearly defied their will, because we have a real opportunity to reverse some of this stuff. It's just so unnecessary. All this stuff that's going on is just unnecessary.
It is an unnecessary burden on average Rhode Island families who are already struggling. I mean, the average household income has gone down 12% since 2008. It just didn't rebound. The number of jobs that we lost hasn't been made up. So we know Rhode Island families are in stress. And yet, they're not focusing on that in the State House. In fact, they're making it worse. The toll law is just the tip, I think, of the iceberg here. This tunnel is going to be so expensive and drag more and more money out of families. So it's replace and repeal, right?
Yes.
Replace the people who aren't paying attention to you, right? So they can repeal these laws. And I'm going to put in a special plea to give us more Republicans and independents. Sherry has been so good to help us, but we need more of her if we're going to stop bad things from happening to Rhode Islanders. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing your thoughts with us, and we'll see you next week.